What's going on, you guys? Links Forte here to bring you my week 1 battle of the P4G. This week we're taking on CrimsonCBad, aka Crim Daddy, aka Shiny Daddy himself. And when I was prepping for this battle, my biggest worry was trying to play around Alolan Dugtrio because of its typing. And then I was like, you know what? Alolan Dugtrio is frail. It can't really take 2 boom bursts. So I think even 1 boom burst was like did like 80% damage or something like that. So I was like, you know what, we're not even gonna worry about it too much. It's just like having to, you know, my electric types, because I felt like I would need to use discharge and get paras, and that was my thought process going into this battle. I was like, yo, I need to get some paralysis going to try and help fracture, at least try and get 1 or 2 D dances up, and then potentially try and sweep. So when this battle was going, or you know, when I finally saw the team, I saw the 5 mon that I saw 5 mon that I expected, and then I saw Turtonator, and I was like, okay, Turtonator, I don't know what you want to do. The most sets that I usually see with Turtonator, it's either Choice Specs or it's Shell Smash. So I didn't really think he would be like a defensive set. I've seen maybe the defensive set once, and it's not really something I was expecting. But I was expecting him to bring Hakamo instead of Turtonator. So this battle is fairly long, so I'm just gonna jump right in it. As you guys see, he does, as you saw on the screen there in the team preview, he did decide to lead off with his Frogadier, and I led off with my Crocodile. It was unfortunate. It was an unfortunate lead matchup for me, but I mean, it was one that made sense for him because I needed my rocks up. And at the same time, I don't want to take any kind of water attacks. For all I know, he's Z-move. So I needed to switch right off the bat. And, you know, I guess he was fearing maybe I'm Scarf. So he switches out as well because he doesn't want to lose his Frogadier too soon. So it kind of told me right away, yo, he's not Scarf. So I was like, okay, no problem. He switches into Whimsicott, which is a good switch for him because I had to switch into Jellicent, even though, you know, Dark Pulse is a thing. Although I was like, yeah, I was kind of iffy on the Dark Pulse. And he goes for Leech Seed, and right off the bat, we get the kind of hacks, I guess. I really didn't know what he wanted to switch into, and I was just like, yo, I need to get Crook in at some point. I need to get my rocks up. I kind of figured he would switch, but I just wasn't sure into what, so I brought Crook back in to finally get my rocks up. But then I see this Meloetta, and I'm just like, Meloetta is a problem for my team, and unfortunately I didn't put Pursuit on Crook this week, and it's a really bad hindsight. I wanted to get some damage off. I wanted to potentially get rid of that Meloetta, but he brings in Whimsicott on a knockoff, and luckily I do get rid of his leftover, so it's not Whimsicott. It's not going to be a huge problem. He keeps going for Leech Seed, so I don't know if he's expecting me to switch or just like, yo, I don't have a good enough move to do a lot of damage. I mean, Moonblast or Giga Drain does the damage to Crook, so it's one of those. He's expecting me to switch. He's just not, you know, whatever comes in is going to take, or whatever I bring in is going to lose health because of Leech Seed. Savali was something of a wild card. I wasn't sure. I guess I should have expected ground, but because I saw Alolan Dugtrio, I didn't really expect ground. When I saw a team, I wasn't sure what it was until I actually saw it. And I was like, okay. So he brought 2 ground types. Okay, cool. I bring in Crook because I'm like, oh man, this is a perfect situation. I can get my rocks up, and I always do this with Savali. Every time I say Savali, I forget this thing gets Parting Shot. So it kind of made it a little difficult for me to potentially get my rocks up. Again, I have a Frogadier staring me in the face, so now I can't just get my rocks up, at least not for free. So I'm like, I had to go into Jellicent because Jellicent can take the Dark Pulse. And then if he wanted to Scald, Hydro Pump, Surf, whatever, I could take that hit as well. I do have Cobra Berry, but I can still take 2 Dark Pulses from Frogadier. It wasn't a huge issue. As you see there, that really didn't do a whole lot. And because he went for that, I can Scald and do a lot of damage to him right here. that tells me right now, with another squad, I actually take this thing out as he goes for the T-Spikes. Now, I was expecting him to switch out, so I was expecting him to go into Whimsicott knowing that he would lose Frogadier. I didn't think he would, you know, I was like, yo, I think he should want to save Frogadier, right? No, he goes for, he gets his second layer of T-Spikes up, and I don't kill this thing when I had the chance. So he goes for another Dark Pulse, just to make sure he gets as much damage off him as possible. As you see, I lived that. Unfortunately, he gets the flinch, and now I have to late Jellicent drop. I could have gotten rid of this Frogadier, but he gets rid of Jellicent, and not only does he get rid of Jellicent, he lives on 1 HP after Life Orb. So now I have to get rocks up to make sure Frogadier dies upon re-entry, or I kill it here, one of the two. But I'm just like, you know what? I have no reason to not just bring in. I have no reason to not bring in Magneton, because I knew he would bring in one of his ground types, and that was my whole plan. But again, I was not expecting the Silvala, but I knew he would bring in one of his ground types. So as long as I'm off the ground, I'm somewhat okay. I can flash cannon this thing. It's gonna do a decent amount of damage. You know, a couple hits of that, and I know at this point he's just going to wait for Magnarize to wear off, because at that point he knows I have to switch. But seeing the fact that he keeps going for the Ice Beam, it tells me a couple of things. One, he does not have like Flamethrower. Yeah, I got a crit there too. So it made things a little bit better for me. It means he had to Parting Shot out now instead of waiting for Magnarize to wear off. So I think I still have like 2 turns of Magnarize at this point. But and this is the thing I really wanted the damage on. I wanted the damage on Meloetta. And you guys are going to see during this entire battle, like, he did a good job preserving this Meloetta. Because he knew that was his win con. Like, if you look at the team that I brought, 3 of my Pokemon died to this Meloetta's close combat. I was hoping he would just keep this in and maybe, like, because I thought he was Assault Vested, and he may have been. I never checked with him. But I was like, man, that didn't do as much damage as I was hoping, so that's why I was like, oh, maybe he'll leave it in and I can get damage off. Once Magnarize wore off, I had to switch out because I didn't want to take an EQ, and this was the one thing I had to take an EQ. And then he brings in the Turtonator, and I'm like, no. I hit him with the Aqua Tail. I get a little bit of damage, not as much as I want, and I'm just like, oh, there's the Shell Smash. Like I said, I didn't know what to expect until I saw the Shell Smash, and at the last second, you know, I clicked U-turn here because I wasn't sure what he wanted to go for, and I just like, oh, I can get momentum in here. And I was like, man, I don't know what to do, because if he Z-move, nothing wants to take like a Z Dragon move, or like a Z Draco, or Z Fire Blast. I didn't want to take that. And I'm just like, okay, I can't lose Crook at this point. And then, by the way, Crook was Focus Sash, and I just burned my Focus Sash. But I didn't know what to do. So I was like, I have to sack something. So I go back into Electric to take the potential Z move, and here it is. And I'm thinking, oh man, this is Z Draco. And then I see it. Z Bloom Doom for Crook and Jellicent. And I'm just like, oh, he got me. Like, that was a good choice of Z move, because I didn't even consider it. So he goes for the Bloom Doom, and I'm like, oh, Electric can eat this up because I'm Spadef with the Eviolite. During the build phase, me and Biddle were talking. He was like, no, bring Assault Vest. And I'm like, I calced it. Eviolite takes the same amount of damage from anything. So I was like, Eviolite was a much smarter bring. I don't think there was a reason on a mon like this to ever run Assault Vest. But he goes for the second Shell Smash to just make sure he's outspeeding everything on my team. And this is the reason I brought Discharge. Brought Discharge on Electric, and I brought it on Magneton, because I needed to slow his team down. And then this started scaring me because he got up the 3rd Shell Smash. And he's now at +6 speed. He outspeeds everything on my team. Fire Blast kills everything on my team. At this point, I need a pair. I think that was another crit. No, that was a regular hit. So I need another pair. And there's my pair. I get it at the perfect time because he was ready to sweep me. Turtonator was ready to sweep me. I get the pair, and Electric takes out Turtonator. So that was much needed. And then here I knew I play horribly around parting shot. I play horribly around parting shot. I should have just clicked U-turn, because there was no reason for me to. I think here I clicked Aquatel, and there was no reason for me to Aquatel when I could have just clicked U-turn. Because one, he was going to get the hit off anyway, and if he chose to stay in, and I lived it, I get the momentum. But I don't, and he goes out into his he goes out into Meloetta, takes the hit, and then switches out. And again, I just wanted more and more damage on this thing, and I just couldn't get it. As he goes into Dugtrio, and he's playing beautifully around me right now. Like, I'm not making the right plays or the right predictions. But I do U-turn out, and I'm like, okay, Crook, I can take whatever hit he wants to go for. This is my opportunity to get my rocks up as well. He does go for his rocks. And again, I don't think I took the opportunity to get my rocks up. I saw a threat in this Alolan Dugtrio, because again, when I was prepping, this was one of the annoying things. And I was like, yo, I need to get rid of it. And that's just the way I looked at it. I could have gotten my rocks up there, no problem. I don't remember on his team what the defogger was, if he even had one. Oh, it was Silvally. Silvally was one of the defoggers. I think he brought 2 potential defoggers, but there and here, I didn't want to take a close combat. I wanted to keep Crook, because again, I still wanted to get my rocks up. And he's just like, no, I'm just going to force you out and save Meloetta. And I'm like, come on, CBad, just let me kill Meloetta, man. But he's using it wonderfully. It's forcing me to switch. He goes for the Moonblast with Whimsicott. It gets me down to 6 HP, and basically I have a sack now with Electric. Electric has it did a wonderful job. It paralyzed and killed the potential, or it stopped the potential sweep from Turtonator. So that was that. Here I bring in Magneton, because you know what, I can just Flash Cannon this. Almost anything that's coming in is gonna die to the Flash Cannon. So yeah, it was gonna take a decent amount from the Flash Cannon, I should say, because we saw what it did to Meloetta last time. This is, like I said, I needed my rocks up, and I didn't prioritize rocks at any point in the battle. So here is Frogadier can come in and just get the damage off, and I'm just like, I wanted to see what Frogadier wanted to go for, because I don't think at this point I had seen its entire moveset. There was the Surf. So I was waiting for that 4th move, and there's the Surf, and I'm just like, okay, so what now is going to take the hit? I was like, okay, funny thing about Fracture, right before the battle, it had Eviolite, and then I swapped it to Lumberry. There's the Lumberry. Had I kept the Eviolite, I would have lived this Ice Beam, but I was just like, at this point in the battle, I didn't really need Fracture. Because I was like, okay, I think Fracture basically lost the things that it could have set up a Dragon Dance on, because everything was, you know, other things were taken out. I do kind of wish I had left Eviolite on Fracture though. But Frogadier is finally down. Unfortunately, it got another kill. So now he brings in the Meloetta, and I'm just like, okay, what do I do? Meloetta at this point, it close combats the last 3 Mons on my team. But this is the thing, I have yet to bring in the Explout, so he doesn't know if like I'm Choice Scarf or Choice Specs yet. So I go for a Discharge. Again, I'm trying to slow it down, trying to get damage on it. I paralyze Whimsicott. He goes for Leech Seed, and there's this, he used it 3 times, missed twice. So Magneton is going to take out the Whimsicott. And you guys, I'm just going to tell you now, it's GG, man. It's GG. He's going to bring in Meloetta, and like I said the entire time, he saved it because he knew he had to. I knew he was going to go for the Relic Song, or I figured he had to, because that was his way of beating me to get into his, to become a fighting type and close combat everything. Because if he was not a fighting type and click close combat, or if he had like Focus Blast, I think Crook lived a Focus Blast. And I think it was possible for Explout to live a Focus Blast. And then he shows me the Drain Punch, and I'm just like, okay. One thing I did forget, that Relic Song has a chance to put you to sleep. So, not that it mattered, because, I mean, like I said, I forgot. There was nothing I could do about that. Like, he was going to go for Relics on. So I bring in Crook, and I'm just like, maybe I can get the Intimidate, because at this point, I need X-Cloud to just Boom Burst my way to victory. But I'm just, I think he was at this point, he knew it, like, he kind of had it, but he didn't know what X-Cloud was. So, you know, for all he knew, I had a Chopple Berry or something, maybe I outsped. If I was Choice Scarf, I don't think I did as much damage as I could have. I think if I was Choice Scarf, I still two-shot him. But if I was Chopple Berry, you know, I lived it, and then, I don't think it mattered if I was Chopple Berry. But he went for the knockoff, you know, just to make sure. Boom Burst, as you're gonna see, had I been Specs, but close combat into X-Cloud would have killed. If I were Scarfed, it wouldn't have mattered. But I think that was just to make sure. But anyway, man, GG to Crimson. We lose week 1, 1-0. It was a great game. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I apologize for this being a post-com. Unfortunately, OBS did not record it when I live-commed for whatever reason. But it is what it is. I will make sure that every battle from now on is live comm. I will make sure I do all my testing prior, because I want my last Draft League season to be enjoyable. You guys to hear my thought process throughout everything. Anyway, also, if you guys want team builders, I apologize. I don't want to do team builders ever again, because granted, we don't face everyone in P4G. We only face 12. No, we play 13 people out of the 15. But possibly seeing, like, when you play 13 people, the likelihood that you're gonna see, like, if you get to playoffs, the likelihood that you're gonna see everybody you played, and it's huge. So I don't want to give those sets away, especially if I didn't reveal something. I don't want to give those away. Maybe after the season, if I remember to not delete my sets this time, because I did that for APA, I accidentally deleted my sets. If I remember not to delete my sets, maybe at the end of the season, I'll do like a big recap, because I don't do those, but maybe I'll do it. Anyway, this video is getting long enough, 18 minutes almost, 17 and a half, almost 18 minutes. I'm going to get up out of here, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. This is Link's Forte. We battle A-Drive next week. So Shiny Daddy week 1, Shiny King week 2. I guess A-Drive is considered Shiny Daddy as well, because he's having a kid. Anyway, I'm going to get up out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Link's Forte. I will see you guys next week. I'm out. Peace.